Hey, if you like this video, make sure to follow me on social networks. Also, you can download the audio-only version if you want.
Hello. I'm here to teach you Norwegian today. And Norwegian is a horrible language. It's a brutish language made by the Vikings, and if you should ever be so unfortunate to have to go to Norway and suffer in their country, well, then you might find these phrases we're going to go through today useful. Okay? Well, let's see here. If you want to say something along the lines of, excuse me, I'm terribly sorry, but I didn't quite catch what you were saying. If you don't mind, may you repeat? You would say, huh? If you are terribly confused, maybe, let's say, I don't know, your teacher is not being very helpful. They are explaining things the same way every time you ask, and every time you are still confused. You are still left there thinking, what on earth is this even about? I don't understand the situation. Please explain again, teacher, because you're not really explaining things in the right way. You would say, huh? And if you understood a situation, but you have no idea why the situation would be the way it is, let's say, for example, if you're watching a movie with a massive plot hole, and you're watching it and you're sitting there thinking, well, that's not right, is it? In any good movie, the situation would be different. It wouldn't happen that way, and that doesn't make any bloody sense. I'm terribly offended at this, and I wish the outcome were different. I'm going to rate this 5 out of 10. It's mediocre at best. Or maybe you are stuck at a friend's house and your friend has gone to the toilet and you are in an awkward situation where you're talking to their father. And of course, we all know that fathers have no good jokes, and the joke is terribly bad, and you're sitting there thinking, well, that was terrible, because you don't really get what's supposed to be funny. Well, in that situation, you could say, or in both these situations, rather, you could say, huh? Now, if you find yourself stuck in the second situation, you might be in for a lengthy explanation of the joke, as we all know. If we don't get the dad jokes, then the dads will often explain to us exactly what the joke was, detail for detail, not missing anything out. Now, that is a horrible fate. So if you want to avoid that, you can follow it up with, well, huh. The dad will then think you got the joke after all, and will promptly leave you alone. So, situation avoided. Now, moving on to another phrase. If you are saying, oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean for the result of my actions to be what they were, but they were, and here we are. So I apologize. That was terribly clumsy of me. You say, oi. If you are amazed at something, you just can't believe it. Containing your excitement right now, well, that idea is thrown out the window. You might have won the lottery and you won millions of dollars, or perhaps maybe you won a car. That's pretty good, right? Not quite a few $1,000,000, but you can't complain. Maybe you took a poop, and it's so impressively large that it went flush. You can say, oi. But of course, the last situation might not be so pleasant. So you could also say, oi. It just depends on inflection, you see. Norwegian is a rather brutish language. It's a rather strange language. So for the people who don't think, to put it this way, they aren't very smart in Norway. They are very stupid. So Don't worry, you'll get away with. You can go there and just these few phrases will they'll Moving on. If you haven't seen someone in a while, let's say you do have the unfortunate pleasure of going to Norway, maybe to meet a family member, and you haven't seen them in a long while. You could say something like along the lines of, "Is it really you? Oh, it's been forever. I can't believe it's actually you," and you're happy to see them. You could say something like, "Nyman." Now, if you imagine, if you will, you're a mother and your child comes home from what should have been the first day of school, but he comes home and tells you, or he or she tells you, that school doesn't actually start before next week. Now, you're going to have to rearrange your events. You've been organizing for this time the whole time. You expected to have some free time and time to do what you wanted to do, and now your plans are foiled. Well, then you can use the same phrase a little bit differently, but you can use the same phrase and say, "Nämen." Now, if you are under the impression that no, you couldn't possibly be wrong. You didn't misunderstand. It's certain. School starts today. The school is wrong. Then you could follow up the "Nämen" with what we learned earlier. Ha. So it would go, "Nämen, ha." Now, you could, if you then realize, "Oh, I guess I was wrong. How clumsy of me. I will try to remedy the situation as soon as possible, and I will reorganize the things I had organized for the next week." Then you can follow all those things up with "Er det mulig?" That's kind of a sigh of, not relief, it's a sigh of, the opposite of relief. I might be a Norwegian teacher, but English, forget it. It's such a complicated and beautiful language, we all know that. We can't all be perfect. So, those things were, again, "Nämen, ha, er det mulig?" If you're a mother in Norway, you'll get away with that in pretty much any situation your child may bring upon you. Now, if you're going to have to start situations. You're going to have to start conversations rather with people. So how would you enter into a conversation? How would you go up to a person and say hello? Well, find someone you'd like to converse with. And then you, in order to say something along the lines of, "Excuse me, I am terribly sorry to disturb you, but I just must have your attention for just a second." You can say something like, they'll understand perfectly. They'll give you all the attention you need, and they'll help you with your matters. So, they might even reply with, "Huh?" after you've explained your situation to them. So, I hope this helped. These phrases are pretty much everything you're going to need if you're visiting Norway. So let's go through them. Did you not hear the person? Are you confused? Maybe you understood, but you don't understand why the situation is the way it is. Then you say, "Ha." If you're terribly sorry for making a clumsy mistake, or you're amazed at something that happened, you would say, "Oi." Or if you're really amazed, you'd say it slightly differently. You'd say, "Oi." If you haven't seen someone in forever, you would say, "Nämen." But then again, if you are horrified at the situation and your plans are foiled because your child is a spoiled brat, well, then you'd say, "Nämen," followed by "ha," and then possibly "er det mulig?" And of course, the last, "de," which is a perfect conversation starter. Everyone loves that one. So, I hope you now scurry off, and if you do indeed find a Norwegian to speak to, you can use these phrases and you'll be fine. Trust me. Yes, yes. So, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and if you did, be sure to like this video, and if you didn't, well then dislike it. We don't want you to be dishonest here. We aren't Norwegians after all. If you have more complex feelings and want to try out your Norwegian, you could use the comment section below. If you like this content, you should be sure to check out my channel for more, or maybe subscribe. You never know. So, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Maybe there'll be another lesson at some point. Yes. So, bye bye for now.